When it comes to charts in PowerPoint, it can be overwhelming at first to know how to work with them and where to start. As of today, there are 17 different types of charts in PowerPoint, with each having their own variations. If I add them all up, we have a whopping 61 charts to remember. I have been working with PowerPoint in the corporate sector for over 20 years now, and even I don't know a lot of them. In my experience, I can confidently say that even you don't need to know all of them either. The 80-20 principle implies that 80% of the time we spend working with charts comes from just 20% of the chart types. If we generalize that to everyone, the question is, how many charts do we really need to know? Over the years, I have seen countless presentations and reports spanning all kinds of industry sectors such as healthcare, retail, IT, entertainment, manufacturing, education, and so on. What is remarkable is, across all those presentations, there are only a handful of chart types that keep getting reused over and over again. So the good news is, you don't need to know all 17 chart types to begin with. You don't even need to know 10 of them or even 8. You just need to know 5 chart types. Of those 5, 2 of them are identical. So essentially, you just need to know 4 of them and you will be off to a great start with your journey into charting like a pro. So as you saw, the 5 chart types that we need to know are a column chart, a line, a pie chart, a bar chart, and XY scatter chart. They each have so many of these variations. However, the good news is we don't need to learn all these variations. We just need to know a couple of them from each. And once you master those, you should be able to figure out the other variations and how to work with them. So to begin with, out of all these, we just need to know 10 chart types and master them, and we will be in a much better place to work with charts as a whole and not just for a specific chart type. Now, what are these variations? Let's look at them one by one. So for the first column charts, I recommend that we only focus on a clustered column and a stacked column chart. If I go to insert, click on chart, you'll see that the first one is called column and we have 7 variations under it. And the first one is a clustered column, which is what we have here. And the second one is a stacked column, is this one at the bottom. And all these others will follow from the first 2. So just learn these at the beginning and the rest will follow. The next chart type we have is a line chart. Let's look at the line charts here. So under a line chart, we also have 7 variations. However, I recommend we focus only on the first one and fourth one called line with markers. And the rest of them will be easy to understand once we master these 2. The third chart we have is a pie and a donut chart. Now this should be really familiar to you. I have also done a detailed video of how to create all the pie charts in PowerPoint separately. So if you're interested, click on this video. But just to go over that again quickly, let's click on pie chart here. We can see that we have 5 variations, but the most frequently used are a standard pie chart and the donut pie chart. So learn these 2 at the beginning and you should be good for the rest. The next one we have is a cousin of our column chart. Now everything that applies to a column chart will apply exactly the same for a bar chart. So the same principles apply. The only difference you will notice between them is the way the text will be placed. So in a horizontal bar chart, the text is placed this way. So if you have a lot of text associated with these bars, it's much easier to place them like so than vertically. Also, there are other differences as to when to use a bar chart versus a column chart. I'll cover that separately, but for now, just know that this is basically the same chart as the column chart. And once you learn one of them, you should be able to learn the other one. The next chart type I have is called XY scatter. This could be called as the older brother or sister of our line chart. The difference being, here we have 2 values per data point versus only 1 value per data point. So if I go to line chart, you will see that we have a category and there is just 1 data point for that category, versus in XY scatter, you will see that in both our axes we have numbers. So this dot here has X value associated with it and a Y value. We could also add a line between these points to create a line chart, but this is slightly more complicated than a line chart, but the principles should remain more or less same with additional options for this chart. The second variation I would like you to focus on is this bubble chart. What I like about bubble charts is it can show 3 data points per item. So you'll see that this bubble here has X coordinate and a Y coordinate, and the size itself is the third variable. So we can pack in a lot of information in such a tiny space. This is one of my favorite charts to show a lot of information. You can also call this a 3D chart because it shows 3 variables per item. So very powerful chart when used correctly. So if you count all the variations that we went through, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you need to know 10 variations, of which column and bar are pretty much identical. So you just need to master 8 chart types and you'll be off to a great start. In the future videos, I'll be going in depth with basics of these charts. Here is a teaser of what's to come, so you wouldn't want to miss that. Please be sure to like and subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you next time.